And today's a great day. Why, you might ask? Because we are finally dropping off the Shelby GT350 at Pat Built Performance for its new twin disc clutch. Now, the clutch we're going with is the Vengeance Stage 2. This is going to be a clutch that is going to be able to support the horsepower that the Shelby GT350 is making with the ESS G3R supercharger with the 110mm pulley on E85. Vengeance clutch. Let's see if I can go ahead and even get it out. Instruction manual for the break-in procedure, which I am going to follow. All the foam, and here's the clutch, y'all. Alignment tool, Loctite. I think we'll be good. This is a unit. Let me tell you this. All right, it's the next day back at the shop, Pat Built Performance, and the clutch is out, the transmission is out, and we're gonna see exactly what the stock clutch does look like in the Shelby GT350. Now, I'm really glad this got done today, because if I did not go ahead and get this done in a timely manner, something bad could have happened, because there are a lot of bolts loose that shouldn't have been loose, but it is what it is. Man, you just gotta you gotta count your blessings, I ain't gonna lie. So here is the transmission. This is actually the first time I'm seeing the Tremec 3160 outside of the car. As y'all can see, this is a stock transmission. This is a stock Tremec transmission 3160. There is nothing done to mine except that we have the Ford Performance short throw shifter, so there's nothing done. Now you can actually go ahead and get these rebuilt through Calimer. If you send like a working transmission that's not broken, it's like $2,000 to get it refreshed and upgraded slash reinforced. It's not going to be a crazy rebuild, but I'm a huge advocate. If it ain't broke, don't mess with it, especially when it comes to car stuff. So this is what we're working with right now, and we're gonna throw this back in the car. This is the stock clutch, and it definitely has seen better days. As you can see, there is a ring around the clutch. There are some hot spots. It looks pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. You can see like the discs here. This is something that you're gonna have to feel, but it's just like flat, it's smooth. There are no grooves that I can feel. You can see, but it's not the best. Definitely should have been replaced a while ago, but it is what it is. Kind of glad everything is getting done now, because yeah, it's time to upgrade, time to move on. You can see the teeth right there. Definitely has seen better days. This clutch took an absolute beating. This is a stock clutch. I know some people probably didn't think it was a stock clutch. This is the stock OEM clutch. I believe there's the Fomoco mark right here, Fomoco. So this is a stock clutch that was in the Shelby GT350. So if you're thinking about supercharging your Shelby GT350 turbo, you guys can see we have an ESS G3R head unit. Also, if y'all can see it, oh, it's kind of tight. Maybe y'all can see it. Yeah, you definitely can. We got the 110mm pulley on here, E85. I'm a huge advocate for the stock clutch. So if you're making like 800 horsepower, I honestly would go ahead and keep the stock clutch in the car, because it works out quite well, a lot better than I thought. And the reason why I think this clutch wore out faster than it probably should have is because there were some other, not necessarily issues, but there were some other concerns going on with the transmission that did not happen here at Pat Built Performance, but I was notified of what was done. I'll get into that later, but here is the Vengeance clutch, the Stage 2. I'm not gonna go ahead and disassemble it again. We already went ahead and unboxed it last video, but we have the stage 2 clutch. Unfortunately, we did not get the hardware, so this is not going in today. We're gonna have to wait a couple days for the hardware to arrive to go ahead and get this mated up with the transmission and then back in the car. But most important thing is stock clutch is out. We have a new clutch. The transmission is going to be put back into the car properly, and yeah, the interior's kind of been taken apart. Really curious how some of the things that went down happened, but you know, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
A few moments later.
Got a Whipple S650. We'll be riding shotgun in this hopefully tomorrow. That car is going to be rolling. All right, back in the shop. So what happened with the transmission, bro?
Vengeance forgot to send us some flywheel bolts, so you can't reuse the OEM ones. So transmission's still out of the car.
It is what it is. What happened with the transmission bolts?
They were not tight. There was, how many transmission bolts out there? 2, and then
I think there's 8
5.
total.
There's 8 total. There was only 6
Yeah,
of
there's
them.
6 transmission bolts
and
in
only
the car.
3 were tight.
And 3 were tight. Damn.
So yeah, your tranny was holding on for dear life.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally. Wow, I could have been bad.
50 likes on the video. Marcus has to buy an aluminum drive shaft.
Somebody send me $1,000. I'll be done. That's going to the twin turbo fund. But that's crazy though, man. 6 bolts holding on,
Only
and
3
3
of
were
them
tight.
And there was 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top. So the sides were hanging on for dear life.
Damn.
They weren't tightened.
Hey, y'all didn't touch it, so it ain't y'all fault.
It was probably
Thank God nothing happened, man. Shit.
usually something like that is the case of using like a power tool to tighten it, and then like after you go around it, it doesn't get like torqued down after.
Yeah.
So you think it's good because the power tool went in, but as it sinks in, like you have the dowels on here. Once these dowels kind of make contact, sometimes they're a little hard to go in, but once they actually like physically made up with the engine,
Yep.
sometimes it doesn't fully seal it shut.
Right.
And that's why the torque spec comes into play.
Right.
So if you don't torque it down properly, you get a scenario like this.
So you said like if it's not mating properly, you can break the input shaft.
Yeah, so like if you were missing both top ones, there's a separation. So this is now going to be, the whole transmission kind of gets angled and sags down.
Yeah.
So when the clutch is sliding on the input shaft here, it can start eating into the splines here.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it eats into the splines, now what's your option?
Right.
Your only option is to go and get a new input shaft, which at that point,
you need a new transmission.
transmission has to come apart. Yep.
It's crazy. And it's nuts because the 3rd to 4th shift, that hesitation, obviously the clutch was toasted, but you said that could have been like with it kind of not really.
I mean, it could have played a small factor in it. I mean, you did have one up top that was still there.
Yeah.
So you had something holding it in, but obviously finding out that several of them were loose, it's obviously not a good thing. But I think it was definitely more so the clutch. I mean, you can see the
Oh yeah, it was done. Yeah, the clutch was done.
I mean,
So,
still something like this could have, had they all started backing out more and more and more, I mean, you're talking catastrophic failure. What if you were driving it one day and you go to bang a gear and the trans just kind of separates
Exactly.
from the engine? It could have turned catastrophic and could have led to a lot of problems.
So glad we did the clutch. Like, yeah, we don't have the flywheel bolts, but it's one of those things where you gotta look on the bright side. Transmission is not blown up. We got a new clutch going in. Man, it's race car shit, and it's not even really a race car. It's like the most basic setup possible, but hey, that's what happens when you be beating on your shit.
So now that you have the the clutch for it, now we just need fuel system.
And the fuel system,
100 mil?
100 mil. Yeah,
90
we'll
mil?
probably do 100 mil.
95.
We'll probably do 100 mil with
We
the fuel
gotta meet in
system.
the middle,
The 95.
95.
See, the only thing with the 95, with the short block, I'll do the 95. But stock motor, no, because I already know how much the 100 mil is gonna make.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push that. And on top of that, I literally have seen, you've seen it too. You're in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
1,000 horsepower through the stock transmission. What happens? That's just gone. So
I was in the passenger seat. when that
yeah,
guy
it
blew it
literally
up.
was. So
Wait, who?
some
When he
dude,
raced another GT350,
Yeah.
well, they both stepped on it. They both shifted.
he
and they
it,
just
it blew,
exploded.
literally.
Flashback.
You gotta count.
Did he let off?
I don't know. I think he fucked up his shift. It literally just blew right there. He said, "Yeah, I make 1,000." I was like, "Holy shit, stock transmission!" Like, yes, this is gonna be a great race. I can see. Done.
So you
Both
guys
of
didn't
them-
even get to do the race.
No,
I
we
mean,
like
technically
we
did
technically
once.
did. Like we like it was literally like the jump was the same, and then his car just nosedived. I was like, "Oh, he probably misshifted and he broke the
You think
transmission."
was it on 2.3 or 3.4? You think?
It was on the 2.3.
It was instant.
It was a
As
Whipple
soon as
car.
we both stepped on
It was a Whipple car, so I mean, it was making.
it. We were
power.
neck and neck, door and door. We both stepped on it. Freaking as soon as we stepped on it, they both shifted. Marcus kept going and he sat still.
It's more torque. I tell people that all the time. It's the torque. Torque
Yeah.
is what hurts things.
Yep.
Hurts trans, hurts rods, pistons, all that low end force. It hurts.
Yep.
them. That's why ESS is like kind of the perfect like. It's like it just works. Like
Yeah.
people that want to roll race, it just works perfect. All
Yeah.
the power's up top. It keeps torque lower. It just works. Like Whipple, yes, it hits hard. It feels nice. Twins, they hit hard. Like Twins, ultimately, is gonna be king daddy at the
Yep.
end of the day.
I think for this platform, like the ESS is good. Like with the S650, ironically, the Whipple with the manual, that would be nasty.
Oh yeah.
It would be nasty.
Yeah.
But for this, I mean, it makes the torque is definitely there. I bet if we put it on the dyno, it'd probably make like over like 650 foot-pounds of torque. I think so.
It's also because the
I think-
RPMs.
yeah.
Because you can rev these out. Century blower makes power with RPMs.
Yeah.
So the higher you're revving it out, the more
Yep.
boost it's making. That's why like a lot of people have issues with these. Like ESS has their pulley chart and how much boost it makes.
Yeah.
Realistically, what you see on ESS's website is not accurate to what a GT350 is gonna make. It's
Yeah.
gonna probably make like 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah, like I think 110 is like what they said, like 9, 10
110
pounds.
is supposed to be 10.5 pounds.
10.5?
That's at 7,200.
Yeah, it's probably making like
7,200
13,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's gotta be at least a pound or two more.
Yeah.
Maybe more
And then it also depends on location. We're in Houston, so
That's true.
we're at sea level. We have better DA. So
True.
realistically, for us, like I know 100 mil on a Coyote here, revving it out to about 7,900. It was about 15.5 pounds
100 mil?
on 100 mil.
What RPM?
That was at about 7,900. on
Oh, dude,
Coyote.
we're not putting that on the car.
So on yours,
We're not putting that on the
on
car.
yours, I would
Put it
expect.
on.
Not yet.
I would say on yours, you're gonna see some. You would on 100 mil, you'd probably see like 17.5, 18.
So where, like Daryl, where is he located? Like he's in Tennessee,
Yeah.
and that car made. It was what, like 1,000? Well, it was like 980, like SE smoothing 5
like 1020
with the
something.
filter on it, and then with the filter off, it made like 1020. Dude, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah.